What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Afternoon talks. I will let the chat load because we are 0 for 0 as of right now. And I've had a pretty cool day myself. Partly cloudy, Austin weather. Let's talk about some boxing. We got a like in the house. Counterpunch to the like. We got one on the chat. Counterpunch to you. Early birds get the worm. But yeah, there's a lot of news that's been happening in the sport of boxing. It looks like the heavyweight division has the monkey, the wrench taken out of the gears that kept everything going. Cruz is 33. What's up, Counterpunch to you? Let's get those likes up. When we come in, let's hit that like button. Standard protocol. Gaza Spartan 908. Indeed, same to you. Appreciate you, Gaza. And that wrench has been taken out. What is going to be about? This is going to be about the heavyweight division. Things have happened. People have been resistant. The resistance of the heavyweight division, the progress of the heavyweight division, those people are no longer valid. Okay? We needed to see an undisputed fight. I think that's what heavyweight boxing needs. Just like we almost saw it when Teofimo Lopez fought Lomachenko. We need that in the heavyweights, but this time for real. Because Teofimo Lopez, he got almost all the belts. He just needs the WBC super. Not regular, but super. Franchise champion means something that somebody created recently. You need the real thing. But in the heavyweight division, we have all 5 belts on the line. Okay, so that's the beauty and that's the progress of the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. Jim Brown, yeah, we're cruising, man. I'm just cruising to my next destination. Shaq Sauter, Counterpunch to you. This is what Shaq Sauter said for the super chat. Hey, what's up, Kurt? Nice to be back in another live stream. Peace to you, brother. Peace to you back, and thank you for your great support. I'm glad to be back. I took the day off yesterday because I was feeling shitty. Just like I ran the day before. Skrilla50, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Mr. Park, what's good, Kurt? Everything's good, bro. Everything's good. And I just had to take it off because I was just feeling like, do. And I didn't do anything. I didn't work yesterday. We didn't have to work. It was all on hold. So, I slept for like 3-4 hours, like midday. Like I went to sleep around 1, woke up at like 5. So, of course, I did the videos. That's always on and current, always counterpunching. But as far as like live, I just wasn't there. I was just feeling shitty, But the good thing is, as I just dropped another video, I don't know if it's loaded yet. It will be loaded here soon. About the WBO. The WBO has decided, Alexander Usyk, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait to allow this big magnitude, this big colossus fight to take place. That concerns all of us. Sounds like a great idea. Sucks for some people. But here's the thing. You're not going to be able to please everybody. You won't. You won't be able to please everybody. Unfortunately. For Alexander Usyk, I don't know what's in store for him. Maybe it's another back date. You need to recharge those batteries, Kurt. You got boots to the ground for boxing community, and we appreciate you, champ. Absolutely. I needed it. Appreciate you, Skrilla50. Can't get any realer than Skrilla. Nah, you're right, though. You need rest. And then I was just burnt out, man. I was just done. And then what sucks is, like, this is like that shitty time where everybody gets sick, especially down in the South, because you got it hot one day and then cold the next, And so allergies, dude, it's gonna suck Think about it. Allergy season. It's gonna suck. Because I mean, like, you can't have a cold up here. Or you tell someone, hey, I got a cold. They're gonna... It's crazy. Penicillin cures those types of illnesses. Yeah, I know, right? But yeah, back to boxing, man. Boxing has became unclogged. The heart attack, the stroke in boxing has been released. The stent has been placed in the veins of progress that flows through the spirit of boxing. That's what's happened. On I-4? No, not on I-4. I-35, not I-4. Deontay is now targeting the good path of Charles Martin. That's good. He should. He should have done that a long time ago. I dropped a video about that this morning. I hope you guys checked it out, about Charles Martin. Charles Martin is a good opponent. And like I'm telling you, everybody thinks Wilder should win. If you think Wilder should win, that means you think Wilder is a lot better than you give him credit for. Because Charles Martin is a lot better than he used to be. He's a different fighter than when Joshua knocked his ass out in 2 rounds. You know, would that happen anyway? I'm not sure, because, see, that's the beauty of rematches, the beauty of experience, the beauty of second chances. People don't understand that, hey, when people fight and people lose, the wise ones that lose, they learn. God path, and I walk this earth like a god. Oh man, he look, if he knocks out Wilder, he's gonna walk it. Martin can win. He has improved under Robles, to be fair. Mr. Park, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. He's a different fighter. Counterpunch to you, brother. Cordell Walton. Respect grind. You are the one hardest working people I know. Period. 2021 is shaping up out to be a great year for boxing. Thank you, brother. And it is. It's going to be a great year for boxing. I think this year is going to be a breakthrough year, and it's going to happen without the greed. You understand what I'm saying? It's going to be without the greed. Because you're not going to have these networks. You're not going to have these promoters. You're not going to have all these guys asking for too much. But we're going to get what we need. See, if everybody's on lockdown and we still need to be entertained to take our mind off of the pandemic, off of the stress of politics and all that shit, what we don't need is the stress of politics when it comes to boxing. We don't need that. That's a society of people that like sports. You know, why do you think sports were created? Sports were created as a distraction for all the other shit that's going on. You have to get your mind taken off everything. If everybody woke up and they watched C-SPAN and shit all day, you know what I mean? And Fox News every day, and that's all you watched throughout your day, and that's the only thing that was on the screen that people were broadcasting, that would be a shitty ass world. I would hate that type of environment. Has Martin been training consistently? The man doesn't look like he's inconsistent with his training. I hope he has. I don't know. I think so. I hope so. You know, but here's the thing. If Martin is not consistent, and he's supposed to be consistent, the question you ask yourself is, now, that's the second fighter that's been either a champion or a former champion that hasn't been consistent under the tutelage of Manny Robles. See, one thing you don't want from Manny, you don't want any people that's doing the same things or going through the same problems, you know? Because could he have 2 lazy fighters or 2 non-motivated fighters at the same time, or one behind another? Yeah, he can. But the perception, how does it look? It looks bad. It looks bad for boxing. It looks bad for him. It looks bad for his reputation. Because they could say, well, maybe he doesn't push his fighters. Maybe if he would have pushed Andy Ruiz more, he would have done a better job. Maybe if he would have pushed Charles Martin more, he would have done a better job. You see what I'm saying? El Kazi 1971, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Charles Martin, in his 85-day reign as champion, is the second shortest heavyweight in boxing history. He cashed out against Joshua, is going the same way with Wilder. I don't know. I don't think, because he doesn't. Wilder has everything to gain from him. Okay, because Martin, isn't he like the IBF? He's high on the IBF rankings. See, Wilder has to get to him if he wants to be another champion in another, or a possibility of being a mandatory in all the other ones. And if it's IBF, he's definitely going to have to be. If he can take that strap, it's either IBF or WBA, right? So if he beats Martin, he takes that slot. He takes that position. That's what Charles Martin is knocking people out to get to. That is going to look bad, and it might not even have been his fault anyway. He just might be two guys that got to a certain level, that got a certain amount of money, and they budgeted their money, and they're comfortable. And all they got to keep doing is fighting at a certain level, not be the level that they need to succeed, and they get with Manny, and Manny's just teaching them how to do what they need to do, but he's possibly allowing them to get away with what they're getting away with. But I'm like Manny, I agree with him. You can't force a grown man to do shit. You can't do it. It's, that's not the way you do it. Not everybody's like Teddy Atlas. You know what I mean? Teddy, he's a passionate, aggressive, old school trainer. Not everyone like that. Manny Robles sees, okay, this guy don't want to do too much. I'm going to do what he pays me to do, and that's going to be it. But at some point, I feel, if Charles Martin lets down Manny Robles, right? Manny Robles has to start looking at integrity standards. And what I mean by that is he's going to have to really start thinking about who he decides to train. He's going to have to start putting their ass into an evaluation before accepting to be their trainer, because you don't want that track record. You don't want that guy, Andy Ruiz left you after not doing shit. Charles Martin left you, not doing shit. So, you don't want that to be. Kudos to you. Good evening from rainy Manchester. Good evening to you. Is it Will Mesa 34? I wish the font was bigger, because the font's they're pretty average. I think it's like an 8 count font, 6 to 8. I need 12, 13, 14. Yeah, El Kazi, it's great news. Great news. JD Spades, Manny can't get over Ruiz leaving him, Robles. I mean, ask yourself this question. Do you think that was warranted? JD, you think that was warranted? Do you think he had a good reason to leave Manny Robles? Yeah, see? Skrilla, he's the IBF. I know it was either the IBF or WBA. He's up there because he's been that guy for the while. And if Wilder can get him, if he can beat him, Wilder's right back there, because the IBF don't play. You think they would have? You think they wouldn't have stripped him of Joshua of that title? Right? You think they would have done that? Of course they would have done that. If Kubrat Pulev forced you don't have to push. You don't have to talk long to the IBF. The IBF sees things. They're like black and white. Yo, he's not. What? Strip. They don't play. Look, the IBF don't play. They do not play at all. Can you counterpunch Chael Sonnen in the new Anthony Joshua video? Slotello. Bro, I'm going to. I'm just, you know what? I'm not gonna do that shit on the road. I'm gonna do that at home when I get off. But that's coming. That motherfucker has got. Look, Chael Sonnen is a cocksucker. He is. He's like the worst, bitterest, fucking, almost good, almost great, but too late. You know what I mean? Fucking drug using, smart mouthed, 2-bit piece of shit. That's Chael Sonnen. Chael Sonnen is one of them guys that he hates on success. If you want to know, look, you look up hate in the dictionary. Hater 1A definition. That motherfucker's name is in there. Webster, this dictionary. Webster. He's in there. Because he's a fucking hater. He did the same thing, man. Look, don't slow tell him. Look, I'm going to release on that motherfucker. I'm going to counterpunch his ass again and again and again. In the same fucking video. Absolutely. You got it. Because I seen that today and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I you know what I'm thinking? And I'm like, okay, is there a... You guys wait and see. Joyce Usyk, man, the fucking juggernaut. Here's the thing, Brandon. Off the top of my head, you don't go toe to toe with the juggernaut. Triple D learned it. He learned that shit quick, didn't he? He learned it, and that's what you don't do. You better know some Aikido. You have to know some Aikido. You have to use that shit against him. Usyk knows how to do that. Usyk knows how to beat bigger men that come forward, throws punches in bunches. That's aggressive. He knows. Look what he did to Chisora. It wasn't a great performance. It was decent. It was at least a C plus, B minus. More like a C plus. But he knows what to do with fighters like that. Now the question is, has Joe Joyce learned anything from getting beat semi-pro against Usyk? You have to understand something, man. Usyk was a heavyweight once upon a time. Okay, that people forget about that shit. He's just not the biggest guy. He ain't meant to be the biggest guy. If Usyk was a bigger guy, you can't say he would have been. You can't guarantee him being faster, quicker, and more elusive being a bigger guy. He probably wouldn't have been. All the little pretenders should just step aside. After AJ is undisputed champion, he might as well give up all the belts. Samuel, and when that happens, it's really, that kind of takes your mind off of heavyweight boxing for a while. It does. It does. Because it's like, Anthony Joshua gets all the belts. I think he should defend it a couple times as being unified, undisputed champion. I think he should do that. But then again, you're right. He might do that. It's gonna be in June. That shit's clearing up just like the clouds in the sky to see the sun. It's good. It's good. Kurt, what top 3 fights do you want to see in 2021? I want to see Dillian White and Ortiz finally. I want to see Teofimo versus Tank Davis, or the rematch with Lomachenko, Tio and Loma. Garcia and Davis. Yeah, I would love to see that fight. Why not? I want to see Terrence Bud Crawford fight somebody on the PBC that's somebody that, so people can shut the fuck up without him saying he never fought anyone. I want to see those fights. I want to see those fights happen this year. All right, we are back in action. Let's see, 80s was pretty stacked for heavyweights. Yeah, the 80s, you say the 1980s? I don't know about that. Mike was pretty much by himself. Ruiz leaving Lopez was okay. Jacobs leaving Rozier and Triple G leaving Abe was unwarranted. They were greedy. They didn't want to give them the same percentage with their new to zone contract. Greedy. Well, I think, JD, all of them were unwarranted. But I think, Ruiz and Robles, okay, I think that was unwarranted on the way it went down. See, it's not Robles' problem or fault that Ruiz lost. Do you think that he gave him any counsel that hurt Ruiz? Ruiz just didn't execute. He didn't execute because he was in no kind of condition to really execute. On top of Joshua didn't make the same mistakes as he did in the first fight. And that's what he was banking on. Ruiz was banking on that. You see what I'm saying? You can't blame the trainer for the fighter not following the game plan. And then when he lost. Okay, fine. He admitted to everyone like, yo, I'm lost. I'm sorry. It was my fault. Then you're going to go back behind making that fucking public announcement. You're going to go back in private and fire Manny Robles. That's unwarranted. Now, I agree with you. With the other guys, they didn't want to give their trainers more money on top of them making more money. That's bullshit. That just shows you that the money changed their perception of what they need to pay their trainer. So you get blessed more, so you don't want to bless the next man that was with you before you got that blessing. That's bullshit. So I'm with you on them two. I just think all three of them were warranted. It's just Manny and Robles wasn't over money. It was just Ruiz needed somebody else to blame. That's the problem. That's the major problem with that. And I'm glad I caught that. Who do you think Ryan is fighting next? He's gonna fight. He's got to fight at soft touch now. I don't see him going back in there fighting Davis. I don't think that fight's happening right now. Daniel. Well, it's like this. When those two get in the ring, we'll see. You know, Fury's very talented. He's a good fighter. Very good fighter. He's been doing it for a long time. He knows certain things. Whereas Joshua is a guy that's learning more and more every day. He does his homework on fighters. And see, I think that's the major factor with Joshua fighting anyone. And the fucking Ruiz. He did his homework on Ruiz. After he was surprised by Ruiz, like, yo, this dude is a lot better than I thought he was. And he thought Ruiz was gone. Ruiz showed the chin of Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. and the heart of a lion, right? He got his ass up. He was broke. You know, I'm going to go for broke. You know what I mean? And see, let's look at it this way. You have to give Andy Ruiz credit because in most cases, most fighters get that amount of money, okay? They get that amount of money, first off, and they throw caution to the wind. They don't really train like they're supposed to because the odds are against them anyway to lose, okay? The odds are against them to lose. So since the odds are against them to lose, they're not going to really train. They got the money in they got the purse, right? Since they got the fight purse, they don't train. Andy Ruiz trained. Andy Ruiz was motivated. You can't take that away from him. He came in, he got dropped, he got some get back, and he overpowered and crowded Joshua with a beret of punches. He did that shit. You can't take anything away from the guy. It's just what he did when he won. That's the problem. Because he could have said, fuck it, I got the money, I've got $6 million, I'm fine, I'm going to take care of my mom, I'm going to buy 4 or 5 houses. You know? So it is what it is. You know, so honestly, I think all shits and giggles that Ruiz did a 50% job. He should have done 100%. Fuck, he did 60. So because he showed up, I guess that's 10%. So he showed up for the second fight. But with Anthony Joshua, he's dangerous because he studies fighters. He's studying Tyson Fury. You know, Tyson Fury knows he's fought Anthony Joshua before. Honestly, I think Anthony Joshua was a lot faster then because he was a lot smaller. So that's another factor people don't think about. Joshua was a thin, tall, slender cat. And he was a lot faster when he was tall and slender. Hell, he was a lot faster late 2019. Okay? The golden eras are depending on weight classes. You can only box who's in front of you. It's not AJ's fault that he's in this era. He's just the hardest worker in this era. Skrilla 50. Well, there you go. Tyson Fury's a hard worker too, but you know, you see Tyson Fury doing different shit though. I think Tyson Fury's physique could look a lot better if he just didn't like drink occasionally and, you know, eat probably a bunch of bullshit. You know what I mean? Drink Diet Cokes and shit like that. You know, I think in that area, I think Tyson can improve, but he's still a working guy due to, you know, his brain has to always be wired. He has to always be motivated to do stuff. You know what I mean? So I think that's what that is. How do you see Ryan and Tank playing out if they fight? That probably won't even be at 135. Probably be at 140. The pandemic would probably have to be over in order for us to see that particular fight. Wilder is nowhere close to AJ in exchanges. Wilder don't exchange. Okay? He doesn't exchange anything. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. He's not an exchange. He doesn't exchange punches. He catches you coming in, right? He catches you coming in, or like he did Jarrell Washington, or he catches you with a sneaky right on the inside when you don't see it like he did Ortiz. But as far as exchanging blow for blow, toe to toe, he's not a toe to toe guy. He's just a guy that's trying to get you knocked out with one shot. That's Wilder. Wilder ain't gonna no, he's not that kind of dude. You know? Chris Serrano, brother, what's up? Counterpunch to you. No one can beat Fury. He is too big. Yeah, he can be beaten. Everyone can be beaten. Trust me. It can happen. If Dillian White can drop him in sparring, he can be beat. If Derek Chisora can drop him in a professional fight, he can be beat. Okay? If Deontay Wilder can drop him twice, and he's just not a finisher, he can be beat. So I don't want to hear that he can't be beat, he's too tall. It might be very difficult for someone to execute that, but it can happen, my friends. There you go, G-Man. Counterpunch to you. No man is unstoppable. We seen Joshua fall. We seen Deontay Wilder fall. We seen these guys fall, so you can't tell me that. You know? Yeah, I'm getting close to the set. Cyber hype. I'm getting close to the set. I'm about to wrap this up in here in a few seconds, but no, it's looking good. It's looking very, very good that these guys are ready to fight. These guys, the fight is look, the next thing is the location. You know, right now I think Canelo is unbeatable. Yeah, that's probably more of a fair assessment. Canelo, that motherfucker, I don't see him because he's just plugged in. He's just plugged in. He's at the peak. He's getting better and better. He's a hard hitter. He's short. He's stocky. Nobody can seem to drop him or hurt this motherfucker. Maybe the clenbuterol has residual effects of being fucking granite, chin, stone, and chin and body. Who knows? But it's crazy. But anyway, guys, this has been a great, short but sweet live chat. We will do it again tomorrow, probably the night when I get off. Stay tuned for that. Everybody on the chat, all 116 of you guys have been counterpunched. Be safe out here. Wear these fucking masks, you know, if you have them. And everybody's been counterpunched. Peace.